though it's fall, we definitely need to come in and get down the spider webs. That's one of the things that you got to remember with your fall chores, to come in, get off any type of spiders that's been living, type of spiders that's up against your house. So we'll definitely take care of that. But back to these containers. For these containers, we use our obelisks, and then we stacked our pumpkins, and we gave a nod to the colors that's going to be working for us in this area here. We used a obelisk, and instead of us going with a black so it would stand out, we used the brown so it could kind of fade into the brick. Then at the base here, we came in and we just draped the bottom with beautiful types of kale, with beautiful types of cabbages, and it just commands your attention. It commands you to stop. I mean, this entire thing is so big. It's just one single cabbage, and it's just given everything we need it to be. And then to keep up with the flow of this area, or the flow that's going to be in this area, we came in with a beautiful pansy here. Excuse me, this is a viola. So we used a beautiful viola, and again it has that beautiful canary yellow, and then it fades out into a yellow color, and we have those peeking through on the openings here. We are just getting warmed up over here in this area, and I'm very excited to the start, and it is a complete difference than what was just here. I am kind of relieved by the fact we don't have all of this greenery draping down, and while it was beautiful, it was definitely time for a change, and it's right on time. And I believe that we're on a good start over here in this area. It could be just me, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm very excited. And you guys, this is just the start of what's going to be over here in this area. Today is the day that we tackle these ratchet evergreens here on my patio. Now, this has been a long time coming, but I figured out the mistake that I made. But first, we need to go in here and we need to see if the coast is clear. You know, check to see if anybody's home. Because we've had our instances before where we have these little bitty guests that like to show their little bitty feathers on the patio and in the front as well. Let's go in. Y'all got my back? Drop down in the comment section and say, we got your back. Let's go in. Is anyone home? Nothing there. Maybe we should get some type of stick or something. Be right back.
Mom.
What?
Put that stick down.
Oh, I'm trying to see if the bird is in there.
I know you love birds.
I do love them. Let me put the stick down. Let's see. All right, so for the most part, nobody's home. So I think the coast is clear, but just in case, we are prepared. But first, we need to cover up the central air unit, because behind this tree here, we have a central air unit, and a central air is a luxury. And as hot as it gets in the St. Louis region, is no way I'm gonna go without my central air. In fact, some days we still actually run our central air because it's not cool enough for us just to turn it off. So let's go ahead and let's just put a tarp over it really, really quick. Brought the ladder out here, so hold on, let me rewind back. While we were trimming this tree, of course the battery died, and of course I cannot find the charger. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start on this tree right here. If the tree that looks the worst, the one that I made the mistake on, because I know why it looks like that now, because I kept thinking like I've had evergreens in containers for years. The longest that I've had an evergreen in a container has been 18 years, right? So I'm not new to this when it comes to evergreens and containers, and it didn't matter if I underplanted them with annuals, perennials, whatever, it did not matter. I've always been able to keep my evergreens and containers alive. Now, remember, before I was a homeowner, remember, I said in several of my videos that I didn't always have a house, like we didn't always own a home. So if you were renting property, a lot of landlords do not let you come in and make changes to the property. So I'm not new to this container gardening thing. Your girl been doing container gardening for a very, very, very long time. I am going to see if this tree is even salvageable. Let's get in, let's start cutting on it, and once we start cutting on it, then we'll be able to see like what the bare bones look like, because all of this brown we got to get off and see what we're left with. I can say, if we can't pull this thing off, this is going to be one expensive mistake. One expensive mistake, but you know what? That's the thing about gardening. You win some, you lose some. You can do everything right and your specimen still dies. You can do everything wrong and by chance you get lucky and your specimen lives. I made one critical mistake, and it might be a pricey mistake, but that's okay. This is what you call the big dog gardening. This is with the big boys, the big girls. You see what I'm saying? So let's get in here, and honey, as I'm looking at this, I think we can save it, but I don't know, honey. It's looking ratchet. It's looking ratchet. And of course, y'all, it's raining now. Weatherman, how do you have a job? Help me understand that. Or was I reading the wrong day? Let me try to top off the top of this tree, honey, so we can get done. Like a rough sketch of what's going on. Can you guys see her? On point. Not so much, because we need to get in close and we need to finish shaping it with our hand. We got the majority of it out of here. It's looking pretty good, but once we go in with the clippers, it'll look better. I feel like we could potentially maybe just save the top and just have one ball here, and cut all of this back. Let's go for that and let's see how it looks. This side over here looks extremely well. We can still keep the shape here, and then we might have to come in at the bottom and kind of clean that up. What we'll do is we'll take the vacuum cleaner, vacuum clean that out, kind of trim it back a little bit, and let's go to the other side so I can show you it. This side over here, you see how a lot of this is missing some green color, but if we kind of pull back a bit, so like this branch right here has a little bit of green on it, like up at the top, at the tips. Can you guys see that? Can you see where we have some green at the top? So what we technically can do in that scenario is we can come in and kind of prune off. See what I'm saying? If we come in like this and we remove what is dead, we can probably prune it to where it'll give us bias a little bit of time here to see what it's going to fully do. Okay, so even like right there, okay, right here, we come in, we prune off. And so what this does then, it gives us more of an architectural shape here at the bottom. So we'll go in, we'll start to vacuum clean all of this out so we can see what type of shape we're left with. So you see how as I go in here and I start to clean up this bottom, how it's giving us more of an architectural shape here. See, even over here on this side right here. Can you guys see that? How we're shaping it up, which really, technically, when you're dealing with topiaries, you need to be doing this anyways. There are like two big bird's nests, one right there and then one right there. This is what we're looking like right now. Because it's getting late, I'm losing light. First thing in the morning, I am going to head to the garden center. I'm going to look for a poodle evergreen in a juniper variety. I've seen them in the Alberta spruces. I really don't like them in the Alberta spruces. I like Alberta spruce like in the regular shape, or I like my Alberta spruce in a spiral, but not so much in the shape of the poodles, if that makes sense. I am looking for something vertical interest. Now, couple of things. This was my mistake. The first mistake, in the wintertime, we had a winter advisory. When those temperatures drop, I should have came out and I should have lowered my container down to the ground. So if you have evergreens in a container and you stay in like a zone 6, you stay in like a zone 7 or 4 or 5. In the winter time, the best practice is to go ahead and lower them down. If you're having a mild winter, that's fine. But if you have a winter advisory warning, when you go out there and you prepare and you get stuff ready to take that severe weather, you need to go ahead and you need to drop that back down to the ground, back to the patio, back to the concrete slab, whatever you have it on. That way it can help the container withstand those temperatures that they're getting ready to face. First thing in the morning, we are going to head to the garden center and we're going to try to see if we can find us something. Because right now, the way it's looking, if I keep it as a circle, if I keep it just as a single poodle, which is fine, I like that look. The stem is tall, so it's elegant enough. The bottom might flush out, might not. You just never know. But I feel like it's going to bother me because I like the symmetrical look that I had. But you guys, when I tell you, they were a beautiful show, we're going to flop back to it so you guys can remember. If you've been following me for a long time, you guys remember how they look. But if you just start following, I'm going to let you guys see how those looked. And first thing in the morning, we're going to just head to the garden center. Sherwood, he always has a ton of evergreens out there. So preferably Monrovia brand, we'll head out there tomorrow and see what we can find. And hopefully he has 3 poodles. You know, 3 balls. Topiary. So this is an option. We could go ahead and come back in and replace it with another type of evergreen, but all of these are sold. But these over here are not sold. These are Monrovias. So these are running $350. So not bad, but this was an expensive mistake. So $350 for these, but I like the way that they're shearing up and they're the right scale that we need it to be. Went to the first store to try to see if we could find some type of evergreen to replace those containers with, and I am not seeing anything that's not $500 or $600. So that itself is a problem. I have to go back to the drawing board, but I definitely know that we cannot keep those containers in the state that they're in now, because that looks a hot mess express, and I can't have that. Also let the situation linger on a lot longer than I should have. I should have already addressed this way back in the springtime, but in my mind, let me see if the containers are going to flush out, what the evergreens are going to do, and then from there I could have made any type of adjustment, and it also would have been easier for me to find some type of large evergreen, because right now we're down to the slim pickings and the new stuff will not come in until next season. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. Look at this one. A little bit of damage here. It's a dwarf Alberta spruce, and this one is $4.29. Okay, I'm looking for a juniper type though. Let's keep looking. Okay, for this size Alberta spruce, I'm really not a fan of the Alberta spruce though. Alright, here's some Monrovia plants over here. Let's see what they have in the way of Monrovia. Although this is cute, it's not really the design that I'm looking for. $1.99. See, I need something that goes vertical, something that's upright. Okay, let's see if we have anything back here. Okay, we can kind of pan this way, slow pan. They have a lot of evergreens, but nothing that's in a tiered ball shape except for that one that was almost $500. So let's keep looking.